Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is First Person Tutor speaking. The voice of Bossman teaching. Familiar face of we still learn, right? Um, yeah, I had a match earlier and I lost that one. I was playing as black and man, I was not ready. You know, if you're going to play against these people on LiChess, you need to have a solid opening with black and make little to no mistakes. Because trust me, when they're going first, they are very aggressive. So it's funny, and then also they just bring greatness out of you a lot of the time because I had a checkmating idea that I started, and I had to adjust it. I had to make a lot of adjustments to what was going on here. Now, it would be nice if I could live stream this, but I'm not going to, right? Now, let's see if I can do what I normally do on chess.com. It's not making any sounds though. So that's, that's a bit inanimate, right? Yeah, this is kind of inanimate. All right, let's go to the very top, right? We can see that. I wonder, is it possible for me to zoom in on this a little more? Like, is it possible to full screen the board? I've never, yeah, I've never tried that. Yeah, I'm new. I'm completely new to this. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'll let one of my colleagues show me how to do that if that's even possible. Anyway, let's just go through every move. Ah, sound is being played. All right, you went with the Sicilian. All right, so I went typical. I was playing like I was going for the Italian. Right, Sicilian. I like doing this because I like to prevent the other knight from coming out. Ah, you do that. And this prevents any attack on the f7 pawn. I think I know my idea behind this move. Ah, alright. Very solid defense. Ensuring that I don't even have any attack on any of the pawns over there. Alright, so I try to create a bit of a chain. He dismantles a part of it. I reconnect. Now, could have gone for en passant right there, but that would just lead to him developing bishop, and yeah, let's not give you any advantages. All right, hold on. Let me do something about this. Okay. So one, I'm going to turn down the fan. I'm going to turn on the fan and also just turn it away so that it's less noisy. Okay. What are we doing now? Right. Let's go. All right. Fianchetto, right? And of course, I continued development, which is a term that I cringe at saying. I notice that every time I'm playing against people who play as black, they tend to go for the G8 to E7. That's it's just a common thing. And it puts a lot of, it's a lot of support on this pawn here. So if anybody tries to attack or tries to break anything around here, it's like, okay, you're going to be protected by this pawn, and by the knight. So it's a really good idea. Really good concept. So, yeah. All right, so again, I just try to find ways to make my pieces active. Okay. They call it prophylactic, something like that, where it's a preventative measure, right? So you're setting a landmine on b5. You don't want anything going to b5. You don't want the bishops and knights invading that space, so you put that pawn right there. Alright, I went ahead and castled. What's going on here? Okay. Now, I know why I castled. I castled because if I decided to castle queenside, this would have been a nightmare for me because there would have been too much activity on that side of the board. There would have been a knight, 2 pawns. There would have been a pawn storm going in the same direction where I would be castling. So castling away from that is a better idea. Alright, so I connect the rooks. That's pretty much what I did there. Also, I was thinking of, you know, adding pressure to the diagonal on, you know, leading up to h6. Alright, so I wanted to create an outpost for my knight, so I didn't mind the pawn pushing my knight away. So I moved to a4. And of course, he's thinking of doing a discovery, but of course, this is what I love about knights, right? Like, knights are flexible in that you want to ruin a knight's plans, but sometimes you ruining the knight's plan is the plan. You know, it's like the knight was comfortable on c3, but it could easily go from c3 to a4, no, to c5. Oh my god. That's actually funny to me. I won't lie to you. That is hilarious. I mean, no, let's walk it back. You seen that? Look at this. 1, knight goes there. 2, there you go. That's where I wanted the knight anyway. That's the beauty about the knight. Yeah? So when people